from the Phantom Studio, somewhere south of Victoria Island. This is NQL. Not quite legal, not quite live, but definitely real. And I am your host, David Miller, bringing you the news from music lovers on Facebook. And that news is a playlist has been selected and will post at noon today. Today being August 30, All Hallows Eve. The time here is 9:51 a.m. And before I say the playlist, I'd like to do a little shout out for Do All Air Conditioning and Heating. Last weekend, my dad, who lives in a park model in Apache Junction, had his AC die on him. And so he was in that heat, that late heat, no air conditioning. And so we called Do All Air Conditioning. And they sent the technicians, where are they? Christo Hartog and Ian Galas out to help Dad. And they did an outstanding job. And I believe it was Christo that took lots of time to talk to us, explain what was going on, what the problem was, what we needed to do, and the cost and everything. Very professional. We were expecting a really serious problem. We were expecting to have to replace air conditioning. They managed to solve it with only a bill of $174.83. They replaced the condenser. That was it. They did not have to replace the whole air conditioner. So that's Do All Air Conditioning. They're at 26208 South Mandarin Drive in Queen Creek, zip code 85142. You can find them in the phone book. Their phone is 480-988-0070. So if you have a problem with air conditioning, Do All is a good company to go to. And they've helped us before also, just us, and not my dad. About a year ago, I guess, maybe two. Anyway, we ran into the same problem. So, and we were very pleased with them at that time also. So, there I have that. Now back to the business at hand, the playlist. The playlist for this week is going to be, Dark Shadows. Obviously it's that time of year where we do spooky stuff. I said last week that I was, or was it the week before? Anyway, at one point, I said I'm not really all into all this Halloween stuff, but after doing some checking, I discovered that it's not just, ghosts and goblins are just a thing to celebrate. The actual celebration actually is more Christian. All Hallows Eve celebrates the passing of the saints for the last year. So, and that includes any friends, family. It's a broad definition of the term saints. And just anyone who's died in the last year celebrated. All souls, I guess, would say more than saints, all souls. The passing of all souls in the last year. So I have that. So Dark Shadows. I will let you know that it is mostly movie soundtracks, movie and other stuff like that. as soon as I can bring it up here, I'm going to list this time both the because there's some repeats in here, not really repeats, but some multiple. So I'm gonna list both the song and where it came from, actually, and the author in some cases. So Dark Shadows, main theme, the TV, and that came from a playlist called TV Themes. The next one is Dracula, The Beginning by Wojciech Kilar. Please forgive my pronunciation, I know only English. The next one is Amityville Horror, main title, by Lalo Schifrin. Next is Living Darkness by Fabio Frizzi. Then Prologue, Welcome to Creepshow, my main title theme, by John Harrison. Then Jail Cell by Charles Bernstein, from Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street. And then Lullaby from Rosemary's Baby by Krzysztof Komeda and Mia Farrow. Next is Ave Satani from The Omen by Jerry Goldsmith. Next is a collection of ones done in order. That's from all the tracks from the Fall of the House of Usher by the Alan Parsons Project. And so these are the Fall of the House of Usher. It's part 1, 2, 3. Jeez. Okay, anyway, you get the idea. It's in the entire, it's almost like a concert. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. All 5 parts of that. Then it's Theme from The Walking Dead by Bear McCreary. Then The Haunting of Hill House by the Newton Brothers. Then Quiet Family from A Quiet Place by Marco Beltrami. Then Let Me Sleep by David Julian. Then La Alba di Morti Viventi by Goblin. I believe that's from an album titled Zombie. I think it's a soundtrack, but don't quote me on that. The Murder by Bernard Herrmann. Then a 3-part one by Alice Cooper. Years Ago, Stephen at the Awakening from Welcome to My Nightmare. Then Don't Leave Me Now by Pink Floyd from The Wall. Then Hallowed Be Thy Name by Emerson Lake and Palmer from Works Volume 1. Then main title, A Nightmare on Elm Street by Charles Bernstein from Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street. And Thriller by Michael Jackson from Thriller 25 Super Deluxe Edition. Then Madhouse by Eloy from Floating. Then The Castle Hall by Arian from Into the Electric Castle. You'll notice we're getting more into regular songs now, not titles. So, and that was kind of intentional, try to break it up a little bit. And Season of the Witch by Vanilla Fudge from Psychedelic Sunday. Then Dead London Part 1 by Jeff Wayne and Richard Burton. Jeff Wayne was a writer and arranger. Richard Burton did the narration in that one. Then Cthulhu Flu by Caravan. Then Blood from a Stone by Deep Purple from Now What. Children of the Grave by Black Sabbath from Master of Reality. Nosferatu by Blue Oyster Cult from Spectres. Then another paired up one, Adjust Me by Hawkwind and Children of the Sun by Hawkwind. I frequently, if I use that in any kind of playlist, I frequently have those two because it's such a smooth segue between the two. It's like they're made to be together. And that's from In Search of Space. Then Death Walks Behind You from Atomic Rooster. And that's their best, Dance of Death. Then another 2-parter, once again, because they just kind of segue together so nicely. Love Has Found a Way by Spirit, and Why Can't I Be Free by Spirit from 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonicus. Then Sleepwalk by White Witch, from White Witch. And Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell from Scream. And Evil Woman by Spooky Tooth from their album Spooky 2. Then Moon Crazy by Blue Oyster Cult from Mirrors. Then Errors of My Way by Wishbone Ash from Wishbone Ash. And finally, DOA by Bloodrock. This comes from a playlist, Halloween's Gravest Hits. So, there you have that. Hope you enjoyed that. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Go away. Thank you. Okay, yeah. As you may have guessed, I do a lot. Everything is strictly ad-libbing. Nothing is rehearsed. Nothing is scripted. Maybe I should script sometimes. And I hope you understand, I'm strictly amateur. I'm not striving for perfection here. Try to be good. Try to make it interesting and entertaining. But anyway, that's the playlist. Dark Shadows. And that's pretty much the news for music lovers. In the background, Ghosts in the Surf, and this is the 4th iteration from my Watcha 22 Pro. No, that's about it. Have a good life, and I will see you in the future.